Today we're gonna look at how attractive IShowSpeed really is. So we can see that he scores 6.3 out of 10 for his front harmony because his lower third proportion is off. Essentially, in simple terms, his mouth line should be positioned differently, is positioned pretty weirdly. His FWHR, we can see that his eyebrows should be lower set. His zygos can be more laterally long and projected. Chin to philtrum ratio, his philtrum is little long, and this ties into the lower third proportion. Eyebrow low setness, his eyebrows again should be lower set. His one eye apart test is 0.92 times when it should be between these ranges, and what this indicates is that his medial canthus right here is really defined and really long, which is what we want. This isn't a big flaw. His ears should be more flared. This rare flaw actually. Not many people have this flaw. This is looking at the IPS lateral alar angle and jaw frontal angle, and we're looking at the difference between them, the deviation. And in many top faces, we see that these two angles are practically equal to each other, but we can see that speed, the difference is 6.9 degrees. And we would want these two ratios to be equal or at the most 2.5 degrees in difference to create a harmonious face. Jaw slope, his jaw slope is a bit off because he has inward gonions, meaning his gonions here are inwards when it should be more flared out. It should be more flared out like that. But the good thing is, at least he has symmetrical gonions, jaw slope. Brow length to face width ratio, his eyebrows should be longer horizontally. Someone like Tom Cruise has perfectly long eyebrows horizontally. He has rounded eyes, so the eye aspect ratio is off. And we also see some upper eyelid exposure, which doesn't tie into eye aspect ratio, but that's still a flaw in his eye area. His temples are too wide. He has a wide forehead, as it indicates here. His nose bridge should be more wider. His face is on the longer side, so again, having wider, more prominent zygos would fix his ratio. But this isn't a big flaw for men, because this means you have a tall skull, so that would be more dimorphic. You'll look more masculine. Someone like Ryan Gosling has a similar flaw to this. This is dividing the IPD to the midface, and this is what we get. His lower third is on the bigger side, but this is dimorphic, so it's not a bad flaw. Bigonial width, his jaw should be a little wider. Let's see. His neck should be a little wider as well. Mouth to nose width ratio. Oh, we can see that his mouth is actually a little too wide. This is a rare flaw in ethnic people. We see that his mouth should be a little bit more narrow. Eyebrows are too positively tilted. Not a bad flaw. And then pretty much from jaw frontal angle and canthal tilt, he gets everything perfect. Yeah, high set cheekbones. Lower lip is proportional to the upper lip. Let's look at his side now. He gets a 2.10, unfortunately. This is an ideal picture for a side profile analysis because we can see that it's completely 90 degrees. We can't see the other eyebrow. The only thing that would be unideal about this picture would be the shadowing covering his face, but this was the best picture I could find. We can see that his facial depth to height ratio is off because his maxilla is recessed. The upper forehead slope is off, and in simple terms, his forehead contour should be more like that, and we can see that the ratio improves. He's downgrown, so his mandible was downwardly grown, and he's missing like this portion of the jaw as well. Yeah, and like the ramus could be taller. His nose is short vertically, and it's also over projected. He's downgrown, yeah. The nasal frontal angle. The nose is a little over projected, and the brow ridge could be more projected like that instead of it being like that. He's recessed relative to Frankfurt plane, so his chin, he's missing this amount of the chin. The Z angle. Facial convexity, looking at the glabella one. So the glabella, the brow ridge should be more more projected, and his mandible is recessed. So like this portion of the jaw should go forward. Nasofacial angle. Let's look at something interesting. Yeah, again, this confirms his overprojected nose. The convexity, again, the mandible is recessed. Looking at the brow ridge inclination angle, confirms brow ridge recession. Nasolabial angle can be better. Anterior facial depth. Lip assessment, so looking at your overall, like the lip assessment looks at the forward projection and the lip protrusion. His gonions don't almost sit below his mouth line, so his gonions should go more down. As I talked about, he's missing this portion of the jaw. This lip assessment, he gets this one good. Interior midface projection angle. You can see that even though the facial depth is off, he gets the interior midface projection angle good. It is quite nuanced because there are different angles to look at each measurement of the face, and you can get something better than one another because they're so a bit different at the end. He gets all these lip assessments good, and the H line, and the ramus sits below. The ramus is tall relative to the mandible. Angularity, he gets a 6 out of 10. So we can see that his jaw definition is quite good. However, his cheekbone prominence can be better. It can be more projected like that. And we can see that the cheek hollowing is quite average. The OG curve, it should have more hollowing. The chin definition and the submental region are just little above average. So we can see that his whole lower third should be more lean and more robust. And he needs more bone mass. Speed is lacking a lot of bone mass. It's just in his face overall, and that would improve his angularity. Oh yeah, by the way guys, if you guys want this for yourself, shameless plug, use code Andy Kim and press the link down below if you want this. Dimorphism, he gets a 4.2, 4.15 to be exact. Oh yeah, so for the harmony, as you guys saw, he gets a 4.5, angularity 6, dimorphism 4.15. And if you guys saw my last video, and if you guys remember, I talked about how the dimorphism formula is quite harsh because it has ratios like, or measurements like facial hair. It is quite harsh. However, even considering that, Speed's dimorphism isn't really good. As we talked about, he lacks a lot of bone mass in his face overall. We can see that his eye area is pretty feminized because of the prominent upper eyelid exposure. We can see that the eye aspect ratio was off, so his eyes are too rounded. However, he has good eyebrows, and we can see that his lips are on the feminine side, even considering his ethnicity, because black people tend to have fuller lips. We saw that brow ridge was recessed with the nasofrontal angle and with the brow ridge inclination angle. His jaw, again, lacks a lot of bone mass, and his gonions are inwards. The face shape, his face is on the longer side, meaning his skull would be taller. So this is a pretty good thing, actually. But again, he's missing a lot of bone mass, so it ends up just being a little above average. Hair length, eyebrow thickness, his eyebrows can be vertically taller. Nose is on the masculine side, and his hairline's on the masculine side. And we saw that from the bitemporal width. And for the features, he gets a 7.3, 7.25 to be exact. So this would be his best pillar. This is pretty good. We can see that Speed is lacking in the eyelash department. He's missing his lower part of the eyelashes. And we can see his nasal bridge is a bit bloated. He has, again, like prominent upper eyelid exposure. His nose tip is little bulbous. And like the asymmetries are here, which is quite insignificant. This is looking at the nostril exposure, and he has pretty prominent nostril exposure. He has hypopigmentation. he has like white spots on his face, like here, especially on the cheeks. Obviously his isn't that bad, but the reference picture is like lagging. These are the asymmetries. He has slight dark circles. His eyes are a little protrusive. He has sclera show even though he's bit looking up. Even in pictures where he's not looking up, he still has sclera show. His eyebrows can be denser because he made an eyebrow slit there. I don't know why he would do that. He has slight forehead wrinkles, even though again he's looking up. I looked at a different picture where he wasn't like looking up, and I assessed it, and he still has like slight forehead lines, mouth asymmetry, and again like the reference picture is a bit laggy. That's not what 8.5 looks like. Eye bags, he has very slight eye bags, and his under eyes are little red. And obviously, he doesn't have any of these health indicator stuff. Like, he doesn't have nasolabial folds or like under eye wrinkles. He doesn't have droopy eyelids. He doesn't have hair loss. And his eyebrow color is good. It's black. That's what we want. And for the overall score, he gets a 5.35. So this is slightly above average. So he would be considered low mid-tier normie. This is what I expected from Speed. He is slightly above average considering his ethnicity. Yeah, I'll say this is a very fair rating for him. Before I did all the pillars, I was guessing he was gonna get 5.25, but he got 5.35. That's fair for Speed. So someone like Speed, he's not attractive, but he's not ugly either, right? He's a very ordinary, average looking guy. Like if you were to go to your local college, you'll see uh black guys that look like Speed or on Speed's level all the time. And this is his scorecard. He gets, yeah, like the 5.3 and the pillar scores. And yeah, that was it for the video, guys. If you guys want this facial analysis plus rating software for yourself, use code AndyKim for 20% off.